Greetings, everyone. This is Xenogelion, if you couldn't recognize me from my face. So I thought I'd give you an update. I've been pushed and poked and prodded saying, like, why don't you do a vlog? Why don't you do a vlog? And I thought, I finally have something I want to talk about in terms of content creation. I'm going to timestamp everything, which should come into the whole chapters feature. So if you guys want to check that out, the specific parts, go for it. I'm going to be covering things like the gaming and chill stuff, YouTube shorts, Kanpai Cast, Tenno Clock, and the Warframe content, breaking that down into various different things. The first thing I'm going to talk about is gaming and chill. So this did not work out the way I wanted it to. It was supposed to be a sort of like let's play experience, similar sort of content to the likes of the Game Grumps. However, it was a lot of effort, it was a lot of work to do something that ultimately did not work out. However, off the back of that was the sort of YouTube shorts, basically taking the highlights of the funny bits of the gaming and chill and just slapping them up on things like YouTube shorts or TikTok. YouTube didn't know what they wanted to do with YouTube shorts. I think I'd come back to the whole short side thing, A, as a separate channel, right? And B, when I have a better internet connection, when I'm able to upload things at it's done. Another thing that I'm doing is the Kanpai Cast. So this is something that YouTube again has sort of like stifled and suffocated things. So I've started with Loz and Nazeth, a new anime podcast called Kanpai Cast. You can find the details for it in the description below. There'll be like, youtube.com/KanpaiCast. And, we're just chatting about different things. We try to give as much information as possible, and Thalian has done a fantastic job of timestamping the episodes. So if you want to be able to jump to different sections of the episode, you can easily do so. So quick shout out to Thalian. Tenno Clock is still going strong. I don't see Tenno Clock going away anywhere anytime soon, but it has been quite a struggle with guests, mostly because before the new war, people were like, I'm not touching Warframe, I'm not doing anything with Warframe, I'm not touching it with a 10-foot barge pole, so on and so forth. So it's been very difficult to find anyone to come on the show. And I will be honest, I have decided, I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. I'm not going to push this. If you know of anyone that's interested still interested in Warframe, please say, and we'll reach out to them and look to get them on. I was hoping with the launch of the new war that there would be a significant uptake in content creators doing stuff with Warframe, but realistically the status quo hasn't changed. So I'm not particularly familiar with particular Twitch streamers, so if there's someone that you can think of that I think they would be a good fit, then just feel free to recommend them. That is pretty much it. And moving on to the crux of everything, which is the Warframe content. So my main channel has been pretty much dead. This is not intentional. So Arbiters has been suffering from a lack of Warframe news. When DE had announced back at the beginning of the year that they were going to move to only monthly dev streams, it was like, that's fine, won't be a problem. But coming up with 3 weeks of filler content was very difficult. It's easy to do it when it's every other week, but when it was 3 weeks in a row, it was too difficult. It was so hard to do. So the idea was then that Arbiters would come out when there was something worth talking about. We'll do it monthly. So after a dev stream, there would be an Arbiters, right? Except for hit middle of the year, and DE have clammed up. So they announced the upcoming new war release, which has happened now. And effectively for 6 months, we've not had anything to talk about because the dev streams are very, very tight-lipped. There was no new news. However, I always wanted to do a spin-off to this. So one of the spin-offs, I spent, I don't know how many hours working on was the War Council, which was this World of Warcraft spin-off of the Arbiters. Now Blizzard are in such royal shit that I wouldn't want to touch it with a 10-foot barge pole, which is a real shame because so much work was put into that. However, there is now a new spin-off called Notice Me Senpai, which is effectively an Arbiters spin-off that is themed around anime. And it will be done still in the classical like VR chat. Sorry, not in VR chat. In the Arbiters, I've given it away. It's VR chat. We're doing it in VR chat. There will be interchangeable characters, but there's going to be a limited number of them. There's no mouth movements because lip syncing is going to be nigh on impossible. And one of the goals that I will be putting on my Patreon relatively soon, because Patreon's going to be needed to fund this, is the purchasing of a VR headset. And with that, I will animate myself for the episode. After getting the VR headset, it'll be then looking at getting a custom designed set. After that, it will be a case of getting a custom designed avatar. But again, it's entirely based on popularity. Really depends on how popular it becomes. Expect the first episode mid to late January. Here's the big one, the Machinimas, right? So I'm probably most well known for 40 Frame Squad and Tactical Terror League, or especially 40 Frame Squad. But the reality is 40 Frame Squad has become too difficult to produce. I have a very limited amount of time, very finite amount of time in the working week in order to do this stuff, and it has become very difficult. So I got a list of some of the challenges that have made it too difficult to produce 40 Frame Squad and Tactical Terror League. So things like AI acting differently. So you could rely on the AI to do certain things, and another one, defense starts automatically after 3 minutes. So many of the shots we recorded was done on defense tiles. Captura doesn't allow for players to die or even ragdoll. So in one of the scenes in Tactical Terror League, there's one bit where Nidus is supposed to push Nezha into the pit, and that was how it was scripted, and it was like, how are we supposed to get this to work? So the fact that Captura doesn't allow things for ragdolling and stuff is really difficult. And then there's the lighting engine changes. That was a big one. So during episode 3, we recorded all the footage, or we thought we recorded all the footage, and then the lighting engine changed. And so there's little bits of it where it looks completely different. And it's like, well, there's nothing I could do to control that. However, I said in an Arbiters recently that, for my New Year's resolution, I'll do a Machinima and just completely drop it immediately. However, that actually did get people excited. So I thought to myself, well, maybe I could do a Machinima again, do it properly, do it with support, do it with people, do it with help, instead of just doing it by myself. And so I'm trying to create a new one. And the first part is I'm going back to basics. I'm focusing on one episode at a time. And I'm getting support from people to basically say, no, you can't do this in Captura. You need to do something else. You need to change it. So no NPCs that cannot be controlled by an in-game actor. The part of TTL that we're stuck on at the moment involves the Juggernaut / Behemoth, right? Trying to get that thing to spawn in certain places in the tile that we chose to record in, or get it to chase the players. It was such a pain in the butt to do anything. And ultimately, I think, I bit off more than I could chew. It was bad from the get-go. So had to put that down. But another thing about this new Machinima is I'm going back to the comedic roots of 40 Frame Squad. It's like I want to focus on the funny. I don't want to focus on the serious tones that Tactical Terror League had. Tactical Terror League was way too serious. In all honesty, it was a flop. Yeah, so the new Machinima is going to be... it's just going to be different. It's going to try and be funny, and it's still going to be entertaining. That is currently what I'm going to be working on for the course of 2022. Honestly, had Notice Me Senpai not actually got off the ground, I wouldn't have been even looking at the Machinima stuff. I just hope that both succeed. I don't want either to flop, really. And yeah, so that's pretty much the plan for 2022. I can't give you a date or anything in terms of the new Machinima. I'm still writing the first episode. I've spent surprisingly days. I've rewritten it 3 times already, and it's just like, geez, it's supposed to be like one episode anyway. So yes, that is currently the plan for my channel. So there's going to be new content coming in soon. TM. The Patreon is going to be crucial with the production of pretty much any of this stuff, because I can't, like, if I'm going to have editors, if I'm going to have anyone that wants money, I'm going to have to pay them somehow, or I'm going to have to find free talent, and then I'm subject to them doing it when they want. So it becomes a lot more difficult. Anyway, but that's it for this vlog. I'm hoping I have chopped out significant amounts of it because it's dumb, and yeah, we'll see you in 2022.